Have you ever felt shattered inside, like life hit you so hard, you'll never stand again? Listen carefully. Being broken does not mean you're finished. It means you're being prepared. God hasn't abandoned you. In fact, He's restoring you right now, even through the pain you don't understand. Your heart may be heavy, your soul may be tired, but remember, brokenness is not the end. It's the beginning of God's work in your life. When everything seems lost, that's when divine restoration begins. This message is for you, the one who feels like giving up. Don't, because your comeback is in motion. Number 1. God sees your struggle. You may not have told anyone how exhausted you are. You may be fighting battles that no one can see, silent battles inside your mind, wounds buried deep in your heart, pain you've learned to smile through. But let this truth sink into your soul. God sees you, even when the world turns a blind eye, even when your cries echo in the silence. Your Creator has never once taken His gaze off of you. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 1, and say, do as you will, for God will see your deeds. This is not just about actions in the open, it's about your intentions, your tears at night, your broken prayers whispered when no one else hears. Everything you go through is witnessed by the one who understands you more deeply than you understand yourself. Sometimes we confuse being unseen by people as being forgotten by God. But that's not the case. Your isolation is not evidence of abandonment. It's often where your greatest connection with God is born. The struggles you face are not hidden from Him. He is closer than you think, watching, measuring, and preparing a better outcome for you than you can imagine. You don't need to scream for Him to hear you. You don't need to be perfect for Him to respond. You just need to trust that the one who sees the black ant on a black rock in the darkest night also sees the darkness in your heart, and He is the light that can heal it. Even if your situation hasn't changed yet, the moment you turn to God, things started shifting in ways you cannot see. You are not walking through this alone. Every hardship you face is accounted for, every tear collected, every broken moment remembered. The struggle may seem endless, but so is God's mercy. The pain may feel heavy, but so is His reward. And the journey may be long, but so is His companionship with the patient and faithful. Don't let your current suffering blind you to the greater plan unfolding behind the scenes. Hold on, because the one who sees your struggle is also the one who will deliver your victory. Number 2. Your pain has a purpose. Pain is not pointless. It may feel like chaos, like your life is falling apart with no explanation. But in truth, pain is often the beginning of transformation. It is the fire that purifies the soul, the storm that clears the path, the hardship that builds you from within. You may not see it now, but your pain has a purpose, and it is not to destroy you. It is to develop you. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 26, God does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. That means your struggle is not random. It's not more than you can handle. If it's been written for you, it's because you are strong enough with God's help to overcome it. Sometimes you don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option, and in those moments of surrender, you discover something deeper, reliance on God. Think of how the strongest metal is forged in fire. Similarly, the most resilient hearts are shaped in trials. The people we admire for their strength, their faith, their peace, they didn't get there by having an easy life. They got there through hardships that refined them and drew them closer to their Creator. And that same process is happening to you. When you're in pain, you're being pushed toward prayer. When you're broken, you're more open to guidance. When you're helpless, you're more likely to call upon God with sincerity. And that sincere call, that turning point of the heart, is where true healing begins. Don't ever believe that you are being punished. Sometimes pain is not a punishment, it's a preparation. It's God clearing space in your heart for something greater. It's Him protecting you from things you can't see. It's Him strengthening you for a future you're not yet ready for. God knows what you've lost, but more importantly, He knows what's ahead. And just because your heart is broken doesn't mean your purpose is. Trust that your trials are planting seeds for blessings yet to bloom. The pain you're feeling today will produce the strength, wisdom, and gratitude you'll carry tomorrow. Be patient with the process. Healing takes time, but it's happening moment by moment, step by step. Your tears are not in vain. Your struggle is not wasted. And your pain, yes, even your pain, is part of God's beautiful plan to elevate you. Let me know when you're ready for the expansion of points 3 to 6. You said expand point. No, 3 and 4 words. Should be 440 in each point. ChatGPT said, certainly. Below are the expanded versions of point number 3 and 4, each with approximately 440 words, maintaining the same motivational tone and structure, with Quranic references for instance. Number 3, healing begins with faith. When the world falls silent and the weight in your chest grows unbearable, there's only one place to turn: faith. True healing doesn't begin when the problem disappears. It begins when your heart turns toward God in complete trust, surrender, and hope. You may not control the storm, but you can control your anchor, and that anchor is faith. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 80, "And when I am ill, it is He who cures me." This verse is not just about physical illness. It's about the brokenness of the heart, the exhaustion of the soul, and the emotional wounds we carry. Healing, real lasting healing, comes from God. Doctors can prescribe medicine, people can offer advice, but only God can heal what no one else sees. Faith is the medicine for what feels impossible. It reminds you that you are not navigating your pain alone. It lifts your head when your heart is too heavy to carry. It whispers, God is with you, even when the world feels against you. And that is the beginning of restoration, not when your situation changes, but when your heart aligns with the one who never changes. Sometimes we search for healing in people, in places, in distraction, but the real cure lies in turning back to God with a heart that says, I can't, but you can. The moment you say that sincerely is the moment the path to healing begins. And healing doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight. It means you're being rebuilt, slowly, patiently. It means you're starting to see the wisdom in your wounds and the mercy in your struggle. When you rely on God, you shift your focus from the problem to the provider, and that shift in perspective is what begins to soften your healing. May come in stages, but each stage draws you nearer to peace. Each moment you hold on to faith, when it would be easier to give up, is a moment of victory. Don't underestimate the power of saying, I trust you, God, even when nothing makes sense. So don't wait for healing to come from the outside. Begin from within. Nurture your faith. Speak to God. Cry to Him. Trust Him, because the one who created your heart is the only one who knows exactly how to heal it. Number 4, God restores the broken. Being broken doesn't mean you're finished. It means you're human. And more importantly, it means you're in the perfect place for God to begin His work in you. When everything falls apart, when your plans collapse, when your heart feels like it's shattered beyond repair, that's not the end. That's the beginning of restoration. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah, verses 5-6, "For indeed, with hardship will be ease. Indeed, with hardship will be ease." Notice how God says it twice. With hardship comes ease. Not after, not later. With the pain comes relief. That means while you're crying, healing is already underway. While you're struggling, help is already on its way. Restoration isn't something that waits until you're perfect. It starts when you're broken. God specializes in taking what's shattered and making it whole again. You may think your life is in ruins, but to God, Those broken pieces are the materials of a new beginning. He restores hearts that were once numb. He lifts spirits that were once buried in despair. And he rebuilds what you thought was lost forever. What you thought was a breakdown could actually be a breakthrough. Sometimes God allows things to fall apart so he can rearrange them in a better way. Maybe the job, the relationship, or the plan had to collapse because God has something far better in store. Don't resist the breaking. It's part of the rebuilding. Look at the prophets. Look at those closest to God. They were tested, they were broken, but they were never defeated. Every tear they shed became a testimony. Every struggle became a step closer to greatness. That same story is unfolding in your life right now. Your situation may not have changed yet, but your heart can begin to heal when you realize that God is actively working on your behalf. He's opening doors you haven't seen yet. He's preparing relief that's more beautiful than anything you imagined. And he's restoring you piece by piece with wisdom, mercy, and love. So hold on. Don't give in to despair. The cracks in your life are not signs of weakness. They are where God's light will shine through. And when you rise again, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more grateful than you ever were before. Because restoration is not about returning to who you were. It's about becoming who God always meant you to be. Let me know when you'd like the expansion of points 5. You said expand point. No, 5 and 6 words should be 440 in each point. ChatGPT said, of course. Here are the expanded versions of point number 5 and 6. Each with approximately 440 words, continuing the uplifting, Quran-inspired motivational style. Number 5. Stay patient. Stay grounded. Patience is not weakness. It's not sitting in silence waiting without hope. Patience is strength, an active state of the heart that trusts God, even when the eyes can't see the way forward. To be patient is to stand firm in faith, while your soul trembles. It's to hold on to God's promise, even when nothing around you makes sense. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 10, indeed the patient will be given their reward without account. Without account, no limit, no measure. That's the value of patience in the sight of God. It's not just about enduring pain. It's about enduring it with trust, with dignity, and with the hope that God's mercy is greater than your suffering. When life throws hardships your way, your first reaction may be frustration. You may wonder, why me? Why me? But patience transforms those questions into a deeper connection with God. It helps you understand that every delay, every test, every painful moment is part of a divine plan far greater than you can imagine. You see, patience isn't passive. It's powerful. It's what carried the prophets through their darkest trials. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, waited in prison for years, but he didn't let the delay destroy his faith. Instead, he stayed grounded in hope, and in time God elevated him. That same elevation awaits the patient among us. Patience teaches us to let go of timing and surrender to divine wisdom. It whispers, God knows, when the heart screams, I don't understand. It reminds us that while we want things immediately, God delivers them at the perfect moment. Staying grounded through your struggle means staying consistent in worship, in prayer, in gratitude, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because those are the moments that build your soul. That's where your real strength is formed, not in ease, but in endurance. So when life tests you, don't rush the process. Be patient with your heart, be gentle with your soul. Keep walking, even if it's slow, because every step taken with patience is a step closer to relief. God is watching, He is recording, and He has promised that your patience will not go unrewarded. Not in this life, and certainly not in the next. Number 6. You are not alone. There are moments in life when loneliness wraps around you like a blanket, when you feel forgotten, overlooked, invisible. You might be surrounded by people and still feel empty. But here's a truth that brings light in the darkest moments. You are never truly alone. Your Creator is closer to you than anyone could ever be. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 16, and we are closer to Him than His jugular vein. That closeness is not just physical.
It's emotional, spiritual, and constant. God knows your thoughts before you speak them. He sees the tears you hold back. He understands the silence you can't explain. Even when you feel disconnected from everyone else, you are intimately connected to Him. It's easy to feel abandoned when prayers seem unanswered, or when the pain lingers longer than expected. But don't mistake silence for absence. Sometimes God's presence is loudest in the quiet. It's in the way your heart keeps beating, despite the heaviness. It's in the unexpected moments of peace that come in the middle of chaos. When you feel like no one understands you, remember that God does. When no one shows up, know that He's already there. He listens to your broken prayers. He responds to the sighs you don't say out loud. He knows what you've lost and what you still long for. Many of the most beloved people to God, His prophets, faced moments of deep isolation. Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, was alone in the belly of the whale, yet he turned to God and was saved. Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, stood alone against an entire people, yet his heart was firm because God was with him. That same divine companionship is available to you. You don't have to be perfect to connect with God. You just have to be real. Speak to Him with honesty. Tell Him your fears, your regrets, your hopes. He already knows, but when you open your heart to Him, healing begins. So don't fear the loneliness. Use it. Use it to deepen your bond with the one who never leaves. Let your isolation lead to elevation. Let your solitude become your sanctuary. Because with God by your side, you are never abandoned. You are seen, you are heard, you are loved.